retail profit back to Linda. So it looks like the BV went. So now we just have to check for the retail profit.
Good, good.
And so, but because of that, it looks like it didn't filter into her Form 1000.
Right.
So obviously we needed that to complete the Form 1000.
Perfect.
So we'll get the Form 1000. And I'm not trying to be sexy over here, but I literally, we just finished like 2 minutes before I jumped on here with these guys. We just finished moving pallets of tile. So I am like a sweat ball, and dinner is Tropical Smoothie Cafe tonight. And we've been on the road since this morning, back and forth across the bridge. I don't even know how many times. So anyway, so very good. What time is it? It's still 8:29. So we'll wait and see if anybody else. Just so you guys know, I've changed it. I don't know whether we'll have everybody tonight, but I've changed it to 8:30 because we've got, obviously, Lynn, I knew that 8 o'clock was going to be too early for you because that's like right when you're getting off work. But I knew that 9 o'clock was right in your dinner hour. So we figured if we moved it, bumped it up a half hour. Plus we've got Emily, who is 1 hour difference because she's in Central Time Zone. And so she was hoping to get out of work tonight on time to get on here. Oh, I'm running a few minutes behind, but I'll be there in just a few more. Okay. Hey, Harry. Thank you. And then the whole airline group, they have to get up like at 4 o'clock in the morning to get to the airport for their flights. So 9 o'clock at night is just, it's just too late because they're basically by 9 o'clock, 9:15, they're in bed. So we decided that we were going to try and boost it up to 8:30 because all of them are fairly new. And we want to make sure we're going to backtrack here, not backtrack, but we have this whole new group of people starting. And so we've got Jamie and Ricky, who just started with Stacia. We've got Emily, who just started. We've got Lori Wade and Tracy and Connie and Delynn, who all basically just started. So we've got all these new people in the system. And then as you guys are all going out and prospecting and sponsoring, we want to make sure we get back to the foundation. And so we're going to go back to the foundation of getting started again to make sure that everyone is crossing all T's and dotting all I's, because we're finding that as we're going through the process, there's been things that have been lost. And I don't want to say lost, but I think that sometimes there's just so much that people forget about little pieces, and then they don't get done with the new people. So one, as you guys know, we put out the message about doing a NUA and a B5. So thank you for responding to that. However, 50% want it on the weekend and 50% want it on a weeknight. So I was like, okay, well, that didn't help. So I hate to say it, but I'm going to pick out 2 times that work for me. And I'm going to record it. If somebody can't be there, it's going to be recording because there's no way I can accommodate every single person. So I'm going to look at the people who really, really need it, who have not had it before. And so obviously on here, that would be Linda and Walter. And then we've got all these other new people. And I really want to make sure that I try to accommodate to the newer people, so at least they get it live so they can ask questions. So like, I mean, obviously, Laura, you've got Amanda in the system here. So I'd like to know like when she's available too, so we can kind of try to accommodate to as many people as possible. So Lynn and Walter, I think you said that weekends were better, but weeknight would work if you needed to. Am I correct? Oh, can you hear me, Lynn?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can now.
Yeah, I mean, we can do during the week. Of course, I work till 5, which is 8. But, you know, my commute is only about 10 steps, so I can get here pretty quickly. And then weekends are fine.
Okay. So I'm actually thinking that I might do one on a weeknight and one on a weekend, just to kind of plow them out. So I will look at the dates. I'm just honestly right now trying to figure out, because we're in the midst of trying to make all this move, and we've got a lot of moving parts. So I'm just trying to make sure everything gets connected. And I don't set a date and time and then have to change it. So a couple of just housekeeping things of what's going on, first of all. I know we're all over the country. So like, you know, some of you are plugged into your local areas, which is great, but there's things happening coming up that I think could benefit all of us. And I want to make sure everyone's aware of them. So like right now we have joined hands, Pip and I have joined hands with Eric Giroux and Colin Haskins and Trinity Haskins and Cheryl Duchess and Lisa Tolbert. And we are doing every Thursday night, some kind of product something. Because we haven't been able to have any real product trainings. People need product knowledge. So was anybody on last Thursdays, or have you listened to the recording of last Thursdays with the 5 health professionals?
I was on.
Okay, so just Laura?
I want to watch it tomorrow. I hadn't had a chance yet.
I'm gonna tell you guys,
Amazing.
there's so much information packed into there. What I really would recommend is go back and listen to it. I sent it out in the text messages. Go back and listen to it and make a sheet for yourself of what different situations they talk about and what they utilize different products for. Because so many questions were answered by these health professionals in that 1 hour segment. It was like 1 hour and 7 minutes, I think.
They actually went through protocols for certain health issues, which you hardly ever get. And just really amazing things like facts about curcumin that I didn't realize in dealing with hormones and stuff like that. So yeah, you're going to want to make that chart and you will utilize it.
And I think we'll all be able to help our customers and future customers better, because so often, I know this because you guys always text me of what would you recommend for this? What would you recommend for that? And without knowing the person and having the conversation, I cannot legally tell you what to tell them. It puts me in a legal position when you ask me those questions, because I am a health professional and they are not my patient. So that's why I take you and take you off and say, what would you recommend? Because if I give you that in a text message and it ever comes back, I could be sued. And I'm not going to put myself in that position. So because of that, we always talk about, this is what we use for foundation. But like our customers, do we give our customers other products? Absolutely. And we want to help you guys develop that, but we can't sit here and connect that to diagnoses. But they did that on that call, and I mean, they're health professionals too, so they're at risk for doing what they just did. But I will tell you, before it gets taken down, go listen to it, and don't just expect you can go back to it, because at some point, if somebody gets a hold of it, it could get taken down because they were connecting diagnoses to things. So go listen to it would be my recommendation. Take notes, make your own charts so that you can understand what to recommend to people, because there was a lot of great information on different products. So very good. We had a really good call last week discussing different products. I think it was Lynn and Walter and Denise and Paul and I think Stacia is all we had last week. So we ended up just talking about products, and I think I thought it was very valuable. We had a really good discussion about the products. Maria.
Did it not get recorded? Because I didn't see it. I was looking for it.
No, I think it got recorded. However, we had so much on our plates last week with closing that I don't know that it actually got uploaded.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss it because I looked for
No, I
it.
don't think it ever got uploaded.
Okay.
Okay,
And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not even sure if I recorded it. I have to check. I'm not sure I recorded it. I'm actually thinking that because we started talking about nutrients and we got into personal discussions, I think I actually hit the recording button to go off, but I will double check on that.
okay.
Laura, did you have a question?
Yes, I do. And I have a Samsung Droid. I know I'm probably the minority here, but when I got the group text, I only got the picture of the goals the goal worksheet and the bullseye, and it looked like it was screenshotted from, because like underneath it said location, directions, find location underneath it. And there wasn't any text at all. But it was so weird when I sent it to you, to that picture, all that was there, but I'm not getting it. That happened to one other document before. So is it just Droids that are, something's not compatible now? Has anyone else have a Droid?
Yeah. We do, but it came through.
Responded to the bullseye. You said you just did that worksheet.
Yeah,
Colin, did you see any of the
yeah, I got the whole text.
I got everything.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see
It was the picture and then the whole text underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the pictures about that.
Well, and what's funny, Laura, is when you sent it back to me and you're going, I don't have it, but when you sent it back to me, it was all there. That's why I sent you that picture. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not there? I'm looking at it. You just sent it to me.
I know, that is the strangest thing. Okay.
So I don't know.
Uh,
I do send out every week. I mean, every week. I will never send a picture without some kind of link to go with it or some explanation. And I send the link out every single week because there's always new people who
Right.
might not have the link yet. So just know that if you don't get something, to text back. But I just ask you guys, instead of texting back to the group in like those types, I mean, when it's something about like, when I sent out last Thursday's information, if you watched it, then yeah, send that to the group, because that encourages other people then to watch it, because they're like, oh, what did I miss? But like when it's a question about something I sent out, just send it to me personally, because what happens is like I look and go, Harry's working all day long, Maria's working all day long, Linda and Walter are working all day long. And when we get texting, I mean, Charlotte's not working all day long right now, but when she was, it was like, she said, my phone's just blowing up and I can't, they're focused on work and they can't check their phone constantly. So when it's something like that, just send it back to me instead of the group, so that we're not blowing up everybody else's phones. So,
Yeah, no, it's still there. Do you see that?
I
No,
got the
I can't.
same thing that you got, Laura.
Oh, so you didn't get any other texts?
Mine looks just like yours.
so you only got the picture, of the bullseye?
Yeah, and see, it says like request direction. Can you see that? Request location, request direction.
We can't see that.
And then share my location underneath.
So Lynn, that's what you get too?
Yep, that's exactly what I got. There was nothing written. That's why I said I didn't get the link for tonight, because it wasn't there.
Well, when I sent it out, Lynn, I thought I sent it to you. You didn't get it from me either?
Let me look, Charlotte.
Because I copied and pasted it.
Because when I click on the picture, it then sends me to like Google or Maps or something like that.
Charlotte, I haven't gotten anything from you except for the thread that you and Beth are on together, but the stuff that you were sending, I haven't gotten since 7:20.
So I tried to send that to, forward it today, Beth, and she didn't get it that way either. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah,
And Linda, you have an Android?
yeah, I have a Samsung.
Okay. Lynn, we're gonna have to stick together.
Yeah, I know. Lynn and
Yeah,
Laura
so- I don't know if you guys can learn how to work around that and let us know. I don't know how to work around it, because obviously I send the message out. I don't know what else I could do differently.
You've done it before. I got it just fine, and I have an Android, and Lynn has gotten it before, so I don't know what happened today.
Okay, so the higher forces are messing with us.
Blame it on the
Oh,
tropical
surprise!
storm.
In the full moon, yeah.
Tropical storm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
surprise, surprise.
too hot in Arizona. It just burned up by the time I got here.
Oh, all right. So what I want to do is I really want to encourage everyone when we get off of this phone call to go download the latest Getting Started guide and actually walk through it, like actually read through it. And you don't have to raise your hands, but my question is, ask yourself, have you ever honestly read through the Getting Started guide? Because the Getting Started guide is basically the cliff notes to your business. So if you do everything in the Getting Started Guide for the first 12 months of the business, you will have success. You'll be out of the gate, you'll have a team to work with. But if you don't do the things that are in there, then something's gonna go amiss. So that is really your cliff notes. So when we look at it, I mean, I'm not gonna go into detail about all these things with you guys because we've done them. And I'm like, with Emily, I mean, Emily's our newest person on the block. So I'm gonna be going through this with her with a fine tooth comb. So this is what I want you to know. When we start, and this can go off kilter at times because things happen. So Lynn, I'm gonna just kind of pick on you as an example right now. When Linda started, we got through probably the first couple meetings of getting started, and then you ended up getting sick and having some challenges. And so we kind of had to just kind of go, oh, put it to bed for a while. And then when we come back to it, you got to ramp up again. So that's going to happen. People have life stuff and you just have to roll with it. But when someone is starting, my goal is to get them to a basic 5 before they actually register their business, if at all possible. Now, we have learned with Linda that getting them to a basic 5 before they start doesn't always work either, because sometimes they go to a basic 5 that is a nightmare.
Well, actually, it wasn't even the basic 5. It was the NUOT.
Well, yeah, because it was supposed to be the basic 5, and then they did the NUOT instead, but didn't tell us.
Right, exactly.
And
So
the reason,
I had no clue what these people were talking about.
of course you didn't. Of course you didn't, because NUOT is all the back office stuff, and you didn't even have a back office yet. So, hey, Emily, you're on mute.
You know me, I'm always late to that part.
When you were working, you had a good excuse. So, Emily,
Yep.
this is everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Emily.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
So, welcome to the team. Oh, we just lost Denise and Paul. I wonder, Maria, is your area supposed to be getting hit right now, or what's the scoop?
It should be getting around here like within the next hour.
Okay, so they shouldn't, well, I guess they could be getting some outer bands at this point.
Yeah.
They lose power all the time at their house.
Yeah.
So this is not something new. So anyway, so with this being said, we want to make sure that, like, if somebody can get to a basic 5 before they start their business, great. I don't ever send somebody to a NUOT, new unfranchised owner training, prior to getting started, because without a back office, it's just going to be a bunch of gabosh. I mean, they're not going to be able to make any sense out of it.
They're back.
They're back. But they can't hear us yet. Oh, I believe they can hear us now because Paul is smiling. Welcome back, guys. We figured you lost power.
No, we're having computer problems.
Oh, okay. So anyway, so basic 5. So if they can't go to basic 5 beforehand, because it's not always convenient, then the first thing I want to do is, as quickly as possible, get them to a basic 5 so that they learn how to do the business. But as some of you already know, basic 5 should be repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated. So anytime you have somebody new, we used to physically go to basic 5 with them. Obviously now it's more online, but there's no reason that we can't do basic 5 together. So Emily, I'll be getting with you to find out your schedule, because I'm trying to plan those basic 5s right now and a new unfranchised owner training. And obviously I want you to be able to be there. So I'm going to be trying to work it out with you and Linda and Walter to make sure that your schedules are kind of, that hopefully we can find a convenient time. And then everybody can plug in. So if you have anyone who is on the fence looking at the business and serious about it, a basic 5 is a really good way to show them what we do with the business and what would be required of them to really develop our business without them having to make any commitment yet. So it's a great place to start. And then obviously when we go through all that, we're going to be getting to the why. We're going to be getting to the goal statement. We're going to be getting to the what is it, the 2-minute commercial, all the things we've been talking about over the last number of weeks. The challenge is basic 5 is 3 hours and it's like 180 slides. That's a minute a slide with no break. So you're not going to have time to interact with people to do what is it's and 2-minute commercials and goal statements, which is why we have to come back one-on-one or 2-on-1 with small groups to be able to make sure we get those pieces down. So like when I get together with Emily to do her goals, it might become at some point advantageous for me to say, you know what, Linda and Walter should listen into this too, because they're kind of at the same stage, maybe just a couple steps ahead. Why don't we all Zoom together and we can help each other and leverage each other's time? So with Zoom, the nice thing is we can do that. We couldn't do that when we were face to face if we weren't in the same area. So use that as to your benefit. And then obviously going back to the names list is, and that's really what I want to hone in on tonight, is JR always talks about creating this list of names, this contact list, your database. If we don't have a database, then we're not going to take any action. So the database is critical. You have to make that list of contacts. And again, I feel like I repeat this over and over again, but I still hear people go, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if that person would be interested. I just want to remind you, it's never about the person who is on your sheet. It's about who that person knows that they could refer you to and connect you to. If that person does not get involved in the business, it is A-okay. You don't want somebody who's not interested. We only want people who are interested. But I also want to go back to that list because we always talk about the top 10. And one of the things that Pip and I have been talking about this last couple weeks is that it's become very apparent to us that people are, and I did this at the beginning of my business, we're told to go after, Maria, we just had this discussion the other week on this call. We're told to go after those, you know, put everybody on a scale of 1 to 10, put yourself at a 5. If I'm a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, you're looking to contact people who are at least a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But what happens is people go, oh, I can't talk to the 10 or the 9 because they're so successful. Why would they listen to me? And what we're missing is the most influential people who have the most contacts and probably the most business sense. And so we go down and we dig in the deepest part of the barrel to find the 1, 2s, 3s, and 4s who have no clue about business. And we're going to have to educate to bring them up to be a business owner. And I'm not saying we can't. I did not have business experience, although, well, I shouldn't say I didn't have business experience. I was not a business owner in my mindset, but I was running businesses. So with that, I mean, I went from self-employed mindset and had to come up to business owner. Employee mindset can come up to business owner as well, but it takes some adjustment. I mean, think of yourselves, if you have never owned your own business and you've never really been entrepreneurial and you went into a job, you've got to shift your mindset. And I know all of you have had to do this. So I know you're all, it's a mind shift. And so with that being said, that's why the other week we talked about what's your identity? Because your identity within the business is going to determine whether you're willing to reach out with somebody else to help you as a team to those influential people. And so I'll pick on Emily here for a second. Emily's young, but very business-minded, very entrepreneurial, but you're in a job, you're an employee. So my job when Emily and I get on the phone the next time is going to be, she's already created a lot of customers. So the good thing about that is she's already seen herself as a retailer, okay? And she sees herself as a coach. But now I've got to help her shift into business owner leadership. And how are we going to connect to influential people? And influential people do not mean people who are making $100,000 or whatever per year. That's not influential. You can find people who are making 6, 7 figures and they're not influential. Influential means they attract people into their circle and people want to be in their circle. And those are influential people. And the reason you want them is because they know a lot of people. And so really go back to your names list as you're creating it and put everybody on it, but then really consolidate it for who are the most influential people, and then get on the phone with somebody on this call and have a conversation about them and figure out what's the best way to approach them. Because they're not all going to be approached the same way. So like last week, Lynn and myself did a call with Robin and Martin, right? Can't hear you.
Yes. Can you hear me?
It was Martin. Okay. And the funny thing is, I really thought, based on what she sent to me, and this is why I say you can't prejudge anybody. Based on what she sent to me, I thought Robin would be all about wanting to help her. And I really didn't know if Robin or Martin was going to be even interested, but he was doing her a favor. And at this point, they both agreed to the next step. So we booked the next step for this week to show them the second half of the business plan. But the thing is, at this point, I actually feel like Martin has more of an interest in this and possibly referring. Robin was kind of like, yeah, I want to support Lynn and I want to help her, but I don't know if there's anything here for me to be able to really refer to anyone. And I just want to really, buy some products from her. We could get on this week's call and it could totally shift the other way again. We don't know. But the thing is, we did the first level appointment and we moved them into the next level. We moved them to the second step to evaluate it further. And that's all it is. We really don't care if Robin or Martin are interested for themselves. Excuse me. So in that process, I just want to remind you that I know for a fact, just like myself, if I did not have a why and I did not readjust my why, because there were many years in the middle here that I lost my why. I had already achieved what I wanted in the business. And then we were at a good place. I mean, Pip was making a six-figure income. I was bringing in, close to $60,000, $70,000 a year off the business. And I didn't need for anything else. And I was raising the kids. I had met all my goals. We had built the log cabin. We had all the things that were on that initial goal list. And so honestly, I can remember getting up in front of the room at local after local after local and saying to my colleagues as we would walk up there, this is the last time we're going up there at this level, because we were over it, but I didn't have a why. And somebody finally looked at me and said, what is it that you don't want? And I said, what I don't want? And he said, yeah, what don't you want? If you can't figure out what it is you want, and what is your why? What don't you want? And I said, well, gosh, if my husband ever lost his job, I don't know where we'd be. And he goes, great, go build it for that. And that totally flipped a switch for me. And I built it because I knew if Pip ever lost his job, we would never be living the lifestyle that we had. And that was the flip of the switch for me. So I don't know whether it's what you want, what you don't want, whether you're doing this for yourself, whether you're doing it for other people. I could tell you when I first started, I kind of was trying to do it for other people because I always felt like I had to please my parents. And that never got me anywhere because I wasn't doing it for myself. And when I realized I had to take it off of trying to, because even when I did build it, my parents never came back and said, hey, great job. They really didn't care. I mean, it was like, they just figured we were good and we had a great life for ourselves. It was never anything really discussed. So you really need to find out what it is for you. What is your why? Which is why I sent that bullseye out today with Colin, because I'm like, we have to really figure out what is it and why are we doing this? So with that, I honestly am done because I really just wanted to start this whole getting started process, because this is where we start with someone so that we can start the path and move forward. So I'm going to ask, does anybody have any content they want to share, or do you have any questions or anything to help other people move forward? Harry.
Hi there. Yes. You mentioned a last Thursday call that was recorded that I would like to hear about, about some of our products and solutions and that. That's on BV 411? I don't seem to find it there.
It's not, I don't know if you heard me say, I have to check and see if I did record it. I'm not sure if I did record last week's or
No,
not.
he's talking about Thursdays with Dr. Sharp.
Oh, you're talking about Thursdays with the doctors?
Yeah,
I sent that out in the text message, but Charlotte, I don't have Harry on my list. He's on your list.
I'll find it and resend it.
Okay.
It's also on the Global Success Builders Facebook page.
It is. So it is not, here's the thing. We're not putting all of the things on BV 411 because it becomes, our whole goal with BV 411 was to create a page. And just so you know, Emily, we have a site called bv411.com. You and I haven't even gotten to it yet.
Oh, you're writing it down.
We just got there. And I just started sweating again. Turn that fan on.
Yeah.
I just sent it to you, Harry. You should have it.
BV 411 was designed as our own team page, and the whole purpose behind it was to have the most important getting started documents there for people so that when you send them there as new people, they've got the documents they need to get started, but don't get overwhelmed with all of the stuff that corporate offers. So Harry, the reason we didn't continue to plug things on there is because we don't want it to keep growing so big that people get confused.
Okay.
So what we've started is we still post like stuff like that. I will always post a link into Global Success Builders, which used to be BV 411 Facebook page. I changed the name because I've hated the name since we named it. We used to be Success Builders, but then our team kind of split in two because we have another leader, and we gave her Success Builders to keep working with. And that's when we changed to BV 411. And I said to Pip the other day, that tells nobody what we are. So we changed it to Global Success Builders. And so that's our Facebook page right now. And so it was posted there. And then I'm finding, but I'd like to hear from you guys, I'm finding that the text message group, other than the Android problem that obviously we're having, I'm finding that the text group is working pretty effectively, that I feel like people are actually getting their eyes on things. I know people that use Messenger, but the challenge is we have a lot of people on the team who don't use Facebook and Messenger. So I don't want to even go that direction.
Have you all ever used or heard of the GroupMe app?
Yeah.
That's the only other thing that I've ever used because it's Android. I can get large groups on that, but they've got to have the app.
And that's the problem. We've tried Line, we've tried Marco Polo, and we've tried GroupMe and WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And all of those are great apps, but the problem is I have people who aren't willing to put the apps on their phone.
Of course.
So that never took off. I do have a couple of you that I group message with on Marco Polo. And I have somebody in the Bahamas that I interact with on WhatsApp. But I've never been able to get everybody to, I think the group text seems to be working right now. And Emily, I need to add you to the group text. I just haven't done that yet. So anybody have any other questions or thoughts?
Thank you. Thanks, Charlotte. I got it.
No problem. I can't wait to watch it tomorrow.
Anybody else have anything? No?
I'm just wondering, would you mind staying on here for just a minute with me afterwards so we can talk about in time that we could talk?
No, I don't mind that. I do need, Charlotte, are you able to get with Lynn and just help her get that Form 1000 completed?
Sure, I'll set up a Zoom, Lynn. I'll send it to you.
If you guys can do that, I'll go with Emily and help Emily.
Okay.
Excellent. And Stacia, is Jamie and Ricky involved, or where are they right now? I'm trying to figure out as we move forward with getting started, because we're trying to start from scratch here and do getting started from the beginning for everybody.
All I know is she tells me she's talking to people, and that's the only real communication I can get from her.
Okay. All right.
So,
Do you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, you can have everyone introduce themselves to Emily.
Uh-huh. Okay. So Pip doesn't have anything he wants to add.
Hi, Pip.
So why don't we do this? Why don't, again, I know we've done this before, but real quickly to go around and do your who am I? And I think it wouldn't hurt to do your quick 2-minute commercial, meaning your 15 to 20-second commercial, so that Emily can meet everybody. Because again, it's all about all of us working together. And I think that the more we hear it and the more we practice it, it's going to be better for everybody. So if we'll start, I'm just going to do the Brady Bunch thing. Charlotte, if you want to go first.
Oh, yippee. Hi, Emily. My name is Charlotte Arter. I live in Hamilton, Virginia, which is outside of Washington, D.C. I'm an accountant by trade. I just took a new job. I start August 17th with a big defense contractor doing compliance. That's how I had met Harry years ago. And I concentrate mostly on health and wellness and weight loss.
Awesome.
Awesome. Maria.
Hi, Emily. I'm Maria Hammershock, and I'm from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Currently, I work in the building supply industry, going on 19 years now. About 5 years ago, my husband and I were living what most people would consider a charmed life, and he was unexpectedly diagnosed with terminal cancer. And when he passed away, that kind of led me to start doing a lot of soul searching and reviewing of my own health habits and whatnot. So I decided I wanted to be the best version of me I could be. And thankfully, I came across a post from a friend, and that led me on a health journey. And from there, it led me into the business. And now I am focused on leading other people down the same health journey.
Absolutely good to meet you. Sorry about that, but I do love this kind of stories. That's the ones that pushed me to getting back into this stuff.
Well, and Emily, I just want you to know you've got right there 2 people who have had tremendous TLS stories. So again, when you have some of your clients, they're both coaches.
Awesome.
So, I mean, you would be able to do calls with them very easily.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah, happy to help.
Thanks, guys.
Laura.
Hi, Emily. I'm Laura Cummings. I live in Palm Harbor, Florida. And I formerly was a special ed teacher, and I stopped teaching shortly after our first child was born. And my husband and I, we own an insurance brokerage company for over 40 years. And we thought we were all set until one tragic day, my husband was hit by a vehicle on a busy highway. Life changed in an instant. And we've soon realized that there's other solutions besides the medical industry to get you back on your feet and healthy again. And that's how I ended up here with my Market America family, and OPC, because we do not miss a day with that.
Back to that one.
Awesome.
See, now I've got lots of stories.
Yeah, and she's also very, very familiar with TLS as well.
Awesome.
Yes.
Lynn.
Hi, my name is, it's Linda, but I go by Lynn. My husband, Walter. I've known Beth since we were 4 years old. Well, she was 4, I was 5. She'll remind me of that every day. I also went to high school with Charlotte and Maria. So we all know each other way, way back. I am from the health, my career is healthcare. As a former nurse. I got very, very ill last year. Actually, I had been ill for 15 years and nobody could figure out what was wrong. I kept being told that it was in my head. It was psychosomatic till I almost died from it. And finally got the right doctors, but unfortunately my pancreas was destroyed at that point. So I had to have that removed last year. Well, more than 2/3 of it. I still have a little piece, but I was told coming out of it that I had a 50-50 shot at living, and I would be a type 1 diabetic. I am not. And I believe truly the reason I'm not is because I contacted Beth and Charlotte and asked them about supplements. And they led me in the right direction, and they helped me feel so much better than I had felt for years that I said, tell me about the business. Drove my husband into it.
Walter.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but it's good. I don't need to go through that whole thing. I think I did okay, right, Beth?
You did great. I'm waiting.
Absolutely.
I'm waiting for Walter to go now.
You're up, baby.
Hi, Emily. I'm Walter. I'm in the tennis professional business, and I just got in this business because I'm on my feet all day, and being at an advanced age, my bones and muscles get stiffened, and the supplements just help me a lot. And so that's why I'm looking more into the business and just working with supplements from the health standpoint.
Awesome. Relatable. Relatable.
Love it. Love it. Good job, guys.
They're doing great.
Oh, and Emily, they live in Phoenix, Arizona. That's
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Beth, you set me up with a real team here. You didn't tell me that.
That's why I wanted you to come join us tonight. I want to meet
Okay.
all these awesome people.
You really are. I love the stories, honestly, and thank you for sharing those with me. And I'm excited to get to know you all. And my only quick thing is I used to work with a company and somebody who sold TLS and was with them, and she was on top of her game with it. And when I left their company, I find myself constantly remembering things and just small things that they taught me, and it really, really carried over. And now I have more and more clients that they've got issues and they've got stories that I remember hearing. And so I've just so badly been wanting to share it with them and bring it back, over to this area that I'm actually in now. So I'm really, really excited to get started with it and kind of spread the word.
And we're excited that you've joined our Wellness Warrior team, because as you're learning, we have quite the Wellness Warriors.
Yes, absolutely. And I like that name too.
Awesome. Harry, you're up.
Yes, I'm Harry Reese. I live in Winchester, Virginia. And I'm a lot younger than I look, okay? So just so we all know that. But I was having some aches and pains, and was working with Charlotte at the time, and she recommended the OPC product, and I found that it does great things for your joints and inflammation and that type of thing. Which these days is a even bigger deal than it was. So, and I want to, moving forward, I want to work on the web centers aspect of it, but I still have a couple folks. I mean, I have some customers, but so I guess it's a dual thing, working on the wellness and the web centers as well. So.
Awesome. Awesome.
Awesome, Harry. So of course, we're dying to know, if you're younger than you look, how old are you?
Well, my mother always told me to lie.
Okay.
Okay, I look like 10 years younger than I actually am, so we're just the opposites.
I'm almost 60, so no. So add, plus a few years on that. So.
I think I could pass for 20, so I'm gonna keep
My
saying
math
that.
is not. I'm not good at math, so.
the new fact.
Well, I will say that, Emily, you do look younger than you are.
Oh, I do. I get it all. People do not believe me. I turned 30 this year, but I look like I'm 20, so I'm gonna rock it till as long as I can.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Enjoy
I'm
it.
like, thanks for TLS and fitness, right?
There you go. There you go. That's why we always say all of us look younger than we are.
Absolutely.
Denise.
Hi, Emily. My name is Denise, and we live in Gastonia, North Carolina, which is just southwest of Charlotte. I don't know my directions very well. Never mind. So I, about 3.5 years ago, had a kind of a crazy health situation come about that 5 different doctors couldn't help me with, and their last resort was a very invasive surgery that they wanted me to go through, and I decided that there had to be another option out there. And I had Beth's number in my repertoire of contacts, and as I had met her about 15 years prior to that, and I knew she was, you know, knowledgeable in all things health, and that she took a more natural approach on health. So I called her and told her what was going on, and so she helped me put together a custom cocktail with our Isotonics products, and I was able to, through Isotonics and through TLS, able to heal my body when the doctors couldn't. And so through that process, we decided that this was a good opportunity to look at for business, and I'll let him tell the rest of that story.
My name is Paul, and Harry and I are the same age, probably. I can't tell. We use the same machine. I've struggled with major health challenges my entire life that put me and others at risk due to accidents. I've been on some pretty heavy-duty prescription drugs until just a few years ago, until my wife introduced me to Beth and Pip, which actually we were their, I guess, their visitors at a local, their guests, and they put us on the front row. And one of my problems is, you know, I go to sleep all the time. I've got sleep apnea, narcolepsy, and everything else, and sitting on the front row and going to sleep just wasn't the right thing to do. So through this, we found some natural solutions, and I'm completely off of my medication. Not only have I gotten my health back, but I've been able to retire 3 years earlier than expected because I learned my wife how to add the help.
You guys are freezing.
And it's still got computer problems.
Oh, you're
There you
back.
go.
You're back. So what was your last statement?
You learned what?
We learned about the L factor.
Ah. Tell Emily what the L factor is.
The L factor is when you combine, well, just like everybody on the screen now. I really didn't know what it was either, but it's the leverage factor. It's missing an ingredient in most people's financial plan. Without the leverage income, we don't have the money coming in when we aren't working, making it hard for most people to retire.
Oh, that was good, Paul. That was good. I'm very proud of you.
Retirement is great, ain't it, Harry? Oh, you're not that old yet. I'm sorry.
Getting younger by the day.
And just wind us right up, Stacia. You're going to be our last one for the night.
And I'm not the youngest anymore.
No, you're not. You're not.
You
the
passed the
youngest
baton.
My name's Stacia Harger. We live in the St. Louis metro area. I'm a software engineer. I've been in several businesses before, so I was actually looking for something a little more stable than other non-network marketing businesess. My husband and I were looking for something that we could do to retire early. And I found the marketamericaShop.com. And so we got involved in it. And through getting involved in Market America, we were introduced to like the Daily Essentials and the OPC3. And I started taking the Daily Essentials January of 2019. I have not had an asthma attack since January of 2019. And I was able to stop taking my RA meds last April. April 2019 was the last time I took my RA meds. So I've been able to go off of those too. So they've made a huge benefit for me. I concentrate mostly on the motive side. You can't really tell during the evening calls. By this time, I've taken the makeup off and I'm like worn out. In the the daily essential stuff, and I think I'm starting to focus more on the pet stuff. The people I've talked to lately, it's it's so much easier to convince people to spend money on their dogs.
Truth. That is truth.
I'm laughing so hard because I had a conversation today about that actually.
People are like, oh, I don't want to spend $77 on the daily essentials, but I'll spend like $50 on my dog every 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, okay, let's just do that. I'd rather have you spend $50 every 2 weeks. Let's do that.
I do love that we do have such a wide range of products. As I will say, I never knew about all of those products in addition. And then even I was telling Beth that somebody last night was asking me about the products for kids. So I know I'm going to watch that video tomorrow. I've got a lot of videos to catch up on, but I'm really excited to learn. So it's really, really neat. And I love all of y'all's stories. So thank you for sharing.
The only reason I have my area rug anymore is that SOS vest.
We have so many incredible products. So again, we like to always bring products into every week so that we can all get exposed to different ones. But I think it's great experience for you guys to share your stories. But it's great to always have new people hearing them as well. So Emily, we do this every Monday night to come back and learn little pieces, but I'll be working with you one-on-one as we start moving forward. So just going back to the beginning, when you start with someone, I always try to plan at least one-on-one meeting per week for the first 4 to 6 weeks. And the reason I do that is because I'm going to be working through the Getting Started Guide with them, through their back office with them, through getting customers and leading to people for the business. And as that starts to unfold, then you don't have to have per se a weekly meeting because you'll end up having a meeting whenever it has to happen. So kind of like where I am with Charlotte and Linda right now is as Linda and Walter are bringing people to the table, it's not a set time every single week because it now depends on other people's schedules. And so now we're doing those next level meetings with them. So again, you just have to kind of shift your schedule as you move forward. But those of you who have full-time jobs, you shift your schedule around what you have available, but also know that you have this whole team. So like Charlotte was gone last week on vacation. So Linda and I did the call with 2 people. So again, you utilize the team to be able to get done whatever has to be done to move it forward. So excellent. Great call, you guys. So we're going to stick with 8:30 and see what this brings. Obviously, the goal is to get more people on here. But we will try to continue to record these every week. And again, if there's ever a topic you want covered or you have a great story you want to share from your week, please let us know ahead of time because those are always good for everybody to hear. So until next week, I will stay on here, Emily, to get with you and come up with a good time. And everybody else, until next week, just let us hear from you. Don't forget, Thursday night, I didn't put it on the text message who it's going to be, and some of you probably already know this. Thursday night, we have Valerie Myers, who is a mental health counselor who has worked with adults and children. She has a kids therapy center in North Dakota and works with children, but through this business has now reached out to their families as well. And she's been with the company for a couple of years now. And she's going to be doing a event on Thursday night related to mental health and our products. She has fabulous information. So it's just going to keep rolling out week after week with that. We might do some Monday nights as well as we continue on. Eric and I are trying to do something every other Monday night, but we're trying to do these product things on Thursday nights. So I will text that out. I just didn't want to send all of it today because that was a lot of stuff and then it gets lost and some of you obviously don't even receive it. So I will be sending out probably tomorrow. I'll send out Valerie Myers' link as well as the flyer. Stacia, you have a question?
Yeah, I was tied up with the auditor today, or the accountant. Is this the new time for every week or is it just this week? I didn't even get a chance to read this until now.
That's okay.
Oh, it was earlier.
That's okay. So I've changed our call. This call is going to be at 8:30 Eastern time every week instead of 9. So it will be 7:30 your time.
Okay, so I'll need to move it on my calendar. Okay.
So I've already moved my calendar as well. We're trying to accommodate more people based on schedules. Okay.
Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you, you too.
Thanks. Stay safe
Bye.
up there.
Let Pip get some rest. He looks tired. Don't work him so hard.
We actually need showers is what we
We need
need.
showers more than sleep.
Oh, are you unpacking now or packing?
No, today we moved a lot of tile because they're starting the tiling tomorrow. We're tiling basically 1,700 square feet. So that's a lot of tile.
You're doing it yourself or somebody else?
No. We have somebody else, but he moved some of the tile, but then we had to go pick out because we decided we were doing the shower as well. So we ran to the tile shop and got more tile, and then Pip broke a tile and.
I used a bad word.
You know, that's 15 years of bad luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
It was 15 bad glances from my wife too.
It was one tile.
It was one long.
It was
time.
one long tile. It was the tile for the bottom of the shower. The little,
Oh,
It was the expensive tile.
Yeah.
it broke in 3 pieces, and I looked at him and said, all I was doing was trying to unlock the door so I could come back and help you, and you didn't wait.
I'm not going to make a comment about him being a man.
Hey, this
So-
lifetime I'm working on patience.
Yeah, keep working.
Have a good week, guys.
All right, take
Bye.
care.
See y'all too.
Everybody. Oh. So Emily, how was your day?
It was long, that's for sure. It took me a little bit to get home, so I hopped on late, but I'm glad that I could at least catch a little bit of it and meet everyone.
Yes, I really wanted that to happen so that and obviously that's not everyone. We have a whole group of flight attendants. And the reason I moved the call is because a lot of them have to get up at like 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. to get to the airport. And it's just like they're in bed by 9:15.
I'm with it too. I'm normally getting there anywhere between 5 and 7, just depending on schedules and who's planning things. Some days I do, and that's what's awful is I'm just gonna have to get in there a couple more weeks so I can finally nail down a specific time.
Yep. So it's all right.
Thank you though.
That's okay. You're welcome. I mean, with everybody, I'm just trying to be flexible with people's schedules because no one ever has the same schedule.
Yep.
So.
Well,
anyway.
are you free tomorrow, or how long would this one last, or the first call last?
Normally what I do is I try to set aside like an hour for each one because
Okay.
honestly, there's so much information that if we go longer than an hour, you end up with too much information to even try and process it.
Absolutely.
So what's your schedule tomorrow that you're looking at?
My open hours are going to be from, actually, if you hold on just 1 second and let me double pull up this calendar.
Are you doing split shifts?
So what they do is they book me, consultations throughout the day at any random time. So I just want to double, and I can clear out any times, and that's not a problem at all. So it does help with that part of it. I just want to make sure that I can clear out in a specific hour. I hadn't logged in on his computer. I'm sorry.
That's okay. And you're fully open? The gym?
I wanted to, oh, you mean as far as people using it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Wow, because I don't think, like, the gyms here are not completely fully open.
Oh, really? Yeah, we are.
It depends on the state. It's just a ridiculous thing, but whatever.
I was gonna say, I understand that though. I know Planet Fitness for a second, they tried to make everyone wear masks, and we actually got a lot of their members last week.
Where we're moving, there's a Planet Fitness right in front of the neighborhood.
Mhm.
So when I joined the neighborhood Facebook group a couple months ago to just kind of like learn about that neighborhood and everything. And I cannot even tell you how many people are complaining about Planet Fitness. I guess I think they've set some of the most ridiculous rules.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, that to me is more of a health hazard to ask someone to work out with one on. I mean,
Yeah, like I can barely wear a mask to begin with, let alone when I'm working out.
I can't wear them outside. They're horrible.
No.
So actually tomorrow I have a huge availability. So anywhere from, and this is my time, 10 a.m. and I'm open till at least 2.
Okay, so I actually have a 2 o'clock. So let me just check. Hey, Pip, can you come here a second? You told Tyler, whatever his name is, Travis. What time would we be over there?
I didn't give him a time.
Okay, but they're coming at 8, so we'll probably head over there mid-morning.
Yeah.
I have a 2 o'clock. I'm trying to figure out with Emily, should I just book before 2 o'clock? We'd be back here? Could I be, we can drive separately if we have to.
Yeah, and we're not going to be dirty.
Well, it doesn't matter. She can't smell me.
No, I know.
I'm sorry, I look rough right now too.
Yeah.
No, so I'm thinking that, how about 1 o'clock you said you have until 2?
Yeah, until a little after 2, honestly, if that's okay.
So you're behind me. So if we did 1 o'clock my time, that would be noon your time.
That's totally fine.
Does that work?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's do this though. Because I have a 2 o'clock. Let's just do let me do 12:30 my time.
Yep.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
what am I looking at? Yeah, 12:30 my time, because that will then give me a little time in between. So that I have an appointment with a cardiologist. So I'll want to at least freshen up a little bit.
And are you an hour before me? Ahead of me, I mean? Okay. So that's 11:30 my time?
That'd be 11:30 your time.
I will just, as long as, that's what I love about this job. They don't mind at all. I just have to block out my, availability on there.
Yep.
And they're totally fine.
It'd be 11:30 to 12:30 your time. And I will set up a Zoom so that we can actually look at your back office. Will you be able to get into a computer to see your back office?
Yeah, absolutely. I can do that.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's do that.
Is it okay if I do Zoom on my cell phone and then just use the computer?
Yeah.
I can show you. Okay.
Absolutely. The only thing that I need to do is I want to make sure that I get in your back office to be able to show you different things.
Yes.
And if something's like funny that you can't find it, it's easier if I'm looking at it with you to navigate.
Yeah, deal. And I can, I can always flip it to the screen, and that's not a problem.
Okay.
I will double check the one and see if I can get it. I will admit the computer that I am assigned to is a little bit older, and he has a tech person who's coming literally next week to try to go through it. So I didn't want to say yes I could, and then it'd be kind of iffy or not download. So I will mess with it in the morning though and see if it can.
Okay. And if it can't, we can just talk tomorrow. I really just want to start really getting your lingo down of what your conversation with people is going to be.
Absolutely.
Figure out where you want to go. Because remember, we had talked about where you want to go with the business versus as customers. So I kind of just more so want to have that discussion with you to figure out what's our plan of action even going to look like. So if we don't get into the back office tomorrow, it's not going to be the end of the world.
We definitely should be able to. I'm just hoping, I would rather be able to share my screen with you is what I'm more or less wanting, but we definitely will be able to.
Okay, beautiful.
Yay. Well, thank you so much, Beth. I'm really glad I got on here tonight, and I'm so happy I could meet everybody.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I will get back out. You had said weekends were better for you for training, right?
They are, yes, absolutely.
So, and Linda works Monday through Friday as well, and she's 3 hours different than us.
Oh, wow.
Well, 2 hours from you, 3 hours from me. So because of that, I'm thinking because I need them trained and you trained, everybody else, if they can make it, great. If they can't, I'm not worried about it. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to set it up for the weekend.
Awesome. I'm definitely in for weekends for sure.
Okay. All right. So I'll probably be looking, I think I might actually even look at one of them this weekend coming so we can get it off the books.
Awesome.
Okay. Awesome.
Let me know.
All right. Sounds good. I will talk to you tomorrow.
Awesome. Have a good night.
All right. You too. Bye.
Bye.